Listen, man, I know everybody mulling around, and I'm just gonna try to do one thing, right? I want to preface this poem. With a real, true life story that happened to me while I was sweat lodging. So here's what happened, right? I'm sweat lodging with my Lakota family. I don't know what they gave me to smoke before we started. But I had a vision. And in the third round, when the singing was hot, when the drumming was hot, and when the air was hot, I caught a vision. And in the vision that I had while I was sweat lodging, the world around me transported to the plains circa 1700, right? And I was in the sweat lodge, and creeping up on me was some settlers. About 3 or 4 conquistador level white men creeping up on us. Their guns was drawn. They had bad intent. And in this vision, they fired on us. And as my spirit rose above the sweat lodge, I saw behind them was a trail of scorched earth. Behind them was a trail of darkness and blood. And it was all in the name of theft. And I realized that when they conquered, we're going to put that in parentheses because I don't see no conquered people up in here today. That's what I don't see. So I'm going to say when they took the inanimate earth, I realized that in their theft of America, they stole from themselves. Because America was already here when they landed. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness was already going on. The Iroquois Federation of Nations was already going on. Before they kidnapped my folks from across the waters, this place was the land of the free. And because they saw fit that they wanted to steal something from people who only did them well when they arrived, means that they was never ever going to have the America that they envisioned. And that is a tragedy. So that's the vision that I'm going to set this up with. That's what I was shown. I got a few indigenous ancestors, at least according to AncestryDNA.com. I got like 1 or 2, you know. I was like, I knew I had it, but I wanted the scientific validation that I am in fact descended from those indigenous to this land. And a whole lot of sub-Saharan Africa, but if that's not obvious, your demise checked. All right. This thing ain't tightened like I want to. So check it out. I got one poem for y'all. If I can have y'all attention, this would be the best, right? This poem is called The Anthem. Follow me. Go like this. The fantasy of Santa Claus is proof that parents are psychotic. But mine were truth lovers who spared me this temporary insanity. So why did they let me believe in America? My childhood was a Star-Spangled Christmas Carol, the 80s, Rocky, Reaganomics, Jam Master, James Brown, Cosby, Michael, Pepsi, Prince, Springsteen, the Wheaties Box, Tyson, The Last Dragon, breaking the goddamn Summer Olympics, and a black boy with the Gumby haircut hand over his heart, pledging allegiance and meaning that mess. It is amazing what belief can do to the mind of a child. I was the best artist at Bromwell Elementary. Could draw an eagle so realistic you could cut out the feathers and stick one on Chief Red Cloud headdress. So there should have been red flags raised when on self-portrait day, I drew myself perfectly Caucasian. Gee, I wonder what black kids learn to reject themselves. Don't believe the self-hate slavery narrative. I'm not interested in effects, but causes. You see, when you mention this great country and its anthems to freedom, purple mountains of opportunity, just courts, dignified policing, and living wage. And my people don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because you superimpose these beautiful words over a Medusa-faced life experience. When those of us who think we tasted the pie only did so By sneaking in with enough green to mask the black of our bloodline, you begin to realize that these beautiful anthems wasn't written for you. Because when your skin is the only barrier from life, liberty, and justice, some of us no longer want to wear it. This is not a political poem. It's an unrequited love story. So America, I would love your ass if you ever existed. But you can force Santa Claus's name on the Bill of Rights. That crap don't make him a founding father. But we're a bunch of kids caroling under the flag like a Christmas tree, hoping America gonna come down the chimney with a bag of freedom. And that's the only time we treat each other kindly, while in denial, acting as if, well, they couldn't build monuments to it if it weren't real. But I see statues of Mickey Mouse all the time. He has a constitution, ways in which he would govern himself if he existed in the real world. You see, America is an amusement park called Land of the Free. Problem is, you gotta pay to get in. That's not the tragedy. Name me one person willing to kill a Muslim for Donald Duck. To starve our Latino brothers and sisters when we burn down their vendors outside. But strap yourself into the Middle Passage water park ride. Cotton candy's free, just pick it from Master Willy Wonka's plantation. The founding fathers would have thought Obama's business suit was a mighty hot outfit for him to pick their cotton in, and then beat him till he stopped calling himself Barack. But anyone who thinks that slavery only scarred black people generationally has never really looked into Sandy Hook, or Columbine, Jim Jones, Jeffrey Dahmer, child porn rings. Did you really think that you could massacre a bunch of Powhatan Indians, go home and touch your wife the same? To teach your son to check his misguided aggression, to tell him that why all of his bedtime stories have traces of indigenous blood on them, like all murders have trace elements of suicide. White America, erasing your history just makes you repeat it more efficiently. And the sins of the fathers have homing beacons centuries long. They explode like genetic addictions, because now somehow you just can't stop cracking that whip, because bondage is the basis for successful business models. And you ain't never heard of masters running away from their cotton fields or corporations. See, you look more hopeless than the slaves are. But when your power is so great, nobody can tell you the truth, and your karma need not come from anybody but you. Malcolm X didn't take down Enron. Chief Sitting Bull didn't chair Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Bobby Seale didn't cause this economic collapse. Cesar Chavez did not fund, train, and recruit for ISIS. It was you, America. Slave nation, now slave to international bankers. Federal Reserve Act of 1913. You smacked your conscience on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in 68 back in Memphis, Tennessee. I have a dream. You cannot stand for freedom with a wounded knee. When the Constitution is the CIA's favorite brand of toilet paper. When your best weapons are named for the tribes you have slaughtered. Black Hawk, Comanche, Tomahawk, Apache. When Lincoln's voice cannot be heard over the Canyon Symphony. When George Washington's heroism is about as real as Wolverine's. It means that you've fallen so far short of your Christian ideals you had to invent another savior for the holidays. The fantasy of Santa Claus is proof that parents are psychotic. But maybe I'm still that patriot. But the rocket's red glare has burned the wool from my eyes. I see you for what you never became. You was a star-spangled abortion. Because we the people ain't never been a nation. Just a bunch of children who was born here trying to make it on indigenous soil. But these well-meaning principles have caused too many lives to act like they have been lived up to. But the band plays on. The anthem's blaring, hands still over our hearts, beating red, white, and broken. Free River. Thank you.